$2.5 billion. That is what Kroger just admitted to losing on the future it spent years building. Not a failed product, not a scandal, a complete reversal. Kroger is tearing down parts of the exact system it once called the future of grocery shopping. Customers did not stop ordering online. Demand never disappeared. Something inside the strategy itself stopped making sense. What followed was a chain of decisions that completely changed Kroger's plan. Here is what actually happened. The first move. Kroger admitted the robots weren't paying off. Kroger had a problem most companies would love to have. Customers wanted more of what it was selling online. Yet the system designed to serve many of those customers was not producing the financial results Kroger expected. Years earlier, Kroger partnered with British technology company Ocado to create enormous automated customer fulfillment centers. These were not ordinary grocery warehouses. Sophisticated technology helped move, organize, pick, and prepare products for online orders. Instead of relying mainly on workers walking through supermarkets collecting groceries from shelves, Kroger could prepare huge numbers of digital orders inside facilities designed specifically for that job. It looked like the future, and the logic seemed strong. Americans were becoming more comfortable ordering groceries online. Walmart had thousands of physical stores that could support pickup and delivery. Amazon had already trained customers to expect products quickly. Kroger needed a serious digital answer. Automation promised scale. It promised efficiency. It promised a way to reach online customers without depending entirely on the traditional supermarket. Kroger opened automated facilities in multiple markets and expanded the network as digital grocery demand grew. Then the numbers refused to cooperate. The problem was not whether the technology could move groceries. The problem was whether Kroger could make enough money doing it. Grocery delivery has costs shoppers rarely see. Someone or something has to find every product. Fresh food needs careful handling. Frozen food has to remain frozen. Out-of-stock items create substitutions. Orders have to be assembled accurately. Then those bags have to travel from the fulfillment point to somebody's front door. Every extra mile matters. Every inefficient order matters. And all of this happens in an industry famous for thin margins. That means a system can look technologically brilliant and still disappoint financially. By November 2025, Kroger had completed a review of its automated fulfillment network. The conclusion was painful. The network had not met financial expectations. That admission becomes even more surprising when you look at Kroger's digital business. People had not rejected online groceries. Kroger eventually reported more than $16 billion in e-commerce sales for fiscal 2025. The customers were there. The demand was there. Parts of the expensive infrastructure behind those orders were the problem. That left Kroger with an ugly choice. Keep pouring money into the original dream because so much had already been invested, or admit that major pieces of the strategy needed to change. Kroger chose change. It stopped treating every futuristic facility as untouchable merely because billions had already gone into the network. That is something giant companies often struggle to do. Announcing the future is easy. You show the technology. You show the growth projections. You explain how the investment will transform the industry. Admitting years later that the economics did not work as expected is much harder. Kroger did it anyway, but saying the strategy disappointed was only the beginning. Investors still needed to learn how much financial damage Kroger was prepared to accept to escape it. That number turned a disappointing technology experiment into a multi-billion-dollar reversal. The second move, Kroger swallowed a $2.5 billion hit. $2.5 billion. That is approximately how much Kroger ultimately reported in impairment and related charges during fiscal 2025 connected with its automated fulfillment network. That number needs some explanation. An impairment does not mean Kroger physically spent $2.5 billion in one day and watched the money disappear. It is largely an accounting recognition that assets are worth less than the value previously carried on the company's books, along with related charges. Still, the size tells you how serious the reversal became. When Kroger initially announced the restructuring, it expected approximately $2.6 billion in impairment and related charges. The final full-year figure came in at roughly $2.5 billion. Think about what management had to accept. Imagine spending years building something. You invest enormous amounts of money. You tell investors it represents the future. Then the returns begin disappointing. Walking away means admitting part of the original plan did not work. Continuing means risking even more money simply because you cannot emotionally accept what has already been spent. That is the sunk cost trap. The more money already inside the project, the harder abandoning it feels. Kroger decided the money already spent was not a good enough reason to keep protecting every part of the network. That is the real significance of the $2.5 billion figure. It tells us Kroger was willing to absorb an enormous financial admission if management believed continuing the same way would be worse. Again, the original strategy was not ridiculous. Online grocery demand was real. It still is. Automation can work extremely well under the right conditions. But grocery delivery depends heavily on volume, distance, density, and cost. A giant automated facility becomes easier to justify when enough orders are flowing through it and enough customers live within an efficient delivery area. If those conditions weaken, the same expensive technology can become a burden. Kroger was no longer willing to assume every market deserved the same solution. Taking the accounting hit proved management was serious. But numbers on a balance sheet do not actually dismantle a grocery network. Kroger still had to decide which physical pieces of its futuristic system deserved to survive. 3 facilities were about to get the answer. Before we get to them, subscribe if you like seeing what grocery giants are really doing behind the sale signs, and tell us in the comments. Would you rather your grocery store spend billions on faster technology or put more of that money into lower prices? Kroger's answer is becoming very clear. We will see that in the next move. The third move. 3 futuristic facilities got the axe. Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin. Frederick, Maryland. Groveland, Florida. 3 automated customer fulfillment centers landed directly in the path of Kroger's new strategy. Kroger announced plans to close all 3. These were not ancient supermarkets with worn-out fixtures and decades of history behind them. They were pieces of a modern fulfillment network that had been promoted as part of Kroger's online future. That makes the closures far more revealing. Florida is especially interesting. Kroger did not have the same traditional supermarket footprint across Florida that it has in many other markets. The automated model offered another route into the state. Instead of building Kroger supermarkets across the region, a giant fulfillment facility could prepare online orders and delivery vehicles could take those groceries toward customers. On paper, that is attractive. Kroger could potentially reach households without needing a conventional supermarket on every corner. But grocery delivery punishes distance. Imagine 100 customers living close together. A delivery network can serve them relatively efficiently. Now spread those same 100 customers across a much larger area. Vehicles travel farther. Drivers spend more time between stops. Fuel costs increase. Fewer orders may fit into the same amount of time. The final mile gets expensive. Density matters. Order volume matters. Distance matters. A giant facility that looks brilliant when enough orders flow through it can look very different when those orders are spread too thinly. Kroger concluded that some parts of its automated network were not generating the returns it needed. That did not mean Kroger suddenly hated automation. The company said it would continue operating automated fulfillment in markets where population and order density support the model. Kroger was not killing the robots. It was making them prove they deserved to stay. Under the original dream, large automated facilities were a major answer to Kroger's e-commerce future. Under the new approach, Kroger wants different fulfillment methods for different markets. Automation, where the economics work. Something else where they do not. But Kroger had already spent billions building toward a much more specialized future. Now it needed alternatives. After investing so heavily in giant futuristic infrastructure, Kroger rediscovered an asset it already owned thousands of: the ordinary supermarket. The fourth move. The ordinary supermarket came back. Imagine spending billions building giant automated facilities only to discover that one of your most useful fulfillment assets had been sitting in front of you the whole time: the neighborhood supermarket. Kroger's new strategy places greater emphasis on stores. That makes sense when you stop thinking of a supermarket as merely a building where customers push carts through aisles. A Kroger store already has inventory. It already has refrigerators and freezers. It already receives deliveries. It already has workers. Most importantly, it already sits near customers. Now that same store can also help prepare online orders. Suddenly, the old supermarket becomes a local fulfillment hub. That is especially powerful because Kroger operates thousands of stores under multiple banners across the United States. Those locations give Kroger something a distant centralized warehouse cannot easily copy: proximity. Imagine a customer lives 4 miles from a Kroger store but 30 miles from a specialized fulfillment center. Which location has the natural advantage when that customer wants groceries quickly? The nearby store already has much of what Kroger needs. That does not mean store fulfillment is free. Workers still have to pick orders. Inventory accuracy matters. Picking groceries around ordinary shoppers creates its own complications. But Kroger is no longer asking whether one system looks more futuristic. It is asking what works financially in each market. Stores also give Kroger flexibility. The same building can serve someone walking through the doors. Another customer can order pickup. Another can request delivery. One piece of real estate supports several shopping habits. That becomes valuable as grocery customers stop behaving in one predictable way. Some people still enjoy choosing their own produce. Others want the weekly shop loaded into the boot. Some want delivery. Others need one forgotten ingredient immediately. The traditional supermarket can support several of those needs at once. Kroger did not spend billions merely to rediscover shelves and shopping carts. Automation still has a role, but the store has returned to the center of the digital conversation. That alone is a striking reversal. Then Kroger went further. Returning to ordinary stores was only half the change. After spending billions building infrastructure it controlled, Kroger became more willing to hand part of the online grocery job to companies it did not own. The fifth move, Kroger handed part of the job to outsiders Instacart, DoorDash, Uber Eats. Those names tell you just how far Kroger's thinking has moved. Kroger expanded relationships with outside delivery companies rather than insisting that every step of online grocery fulfillment had to happen inside a Kroger-owned system. Instacart became particularly important. Kroger named Instacart its primary delivery fulfillment provider across Kroger's digital properties. More orders can be fulfilled directly from stores. DoorDash and Uber Eats add other ways for Kroger to reach customers through services millions of Americans may already have on their phones. That is almost ironic. The old dream was sophisticated Kroger-controlled infrastructure designed specifically for digital grocery fulfillment. Part of the new answer can be much simpler: a nearby supermarket, an existing delivery platform, a driver, a customer. Some orders can reach customers in as little as 30 minutes. That changes what Kroger can compete for. Online grocery is no longer only the giant weekly shop planned hours or days in advance. It can be the gallon of milk somebody forgot, the snacks needed before guests arrive, the missing ingredient halfway through making dinner, the emergency when you open the refrigerator and realize there is almost nothing inside. 30-minute delivery pushes Kroger closer to on-demand retail. Kroger does not necessarily have to build another giant automated facility to offer it. That is the contradiction at the center of the reversal. Kroger spent billions trying to reinvent grocery fulfillment. Now part of its future looks remarkably familiar. Use the stores. Use outside partners. Use automation where it earns its place. Stop forcing every market and every customer into the same expensive system. That may sound less exciting than robots moving groceries around giant automated grids. Financially, Kroger believes the new mix can be far more useful, and the company has already put an enormous number on what fixing these economics could be worth. The sixth move, Kroger put $400 million on the new strategy, approximately $400 million. That is how much Kroger expects its e-commerce changes to improve operating profit in 2026. This is where the giant warehouse reversal could finally reach something shoppers care about much more: the checkout. Kroger has said these improvements can help fund lower prices and better store conditions while also improving margins. That does not mean Kroger is taking $400 million and dividing it between customers. It does not mean every carton of eggs suddenly gets cheaper. It means Kroger believes fixing the economics of e-commerce gives the company more room to invest elsewhere. Value is one obvious battlefield. Grocery shoppers notice price differently from shoppers buying occasional big-ticket items. You may replace a television every several years. Food comes back every week. Milk, bread, eggs, meat, fruit, coffee, cereal, cleaning products. Every small price difference repeats. That makes grocery customers extremely sensitive to what happens on the receipt. Kroger is fighting Walmart's enormous scale. Aldi keeps pressure on prices with a simpler, low-cost model. Costco attracts members willing to buy in bulk. Amazon brings huge digital reach and logistics experience. Regional supermarkets fight hard in their own territories. Kroger cannot afford to keep spending heavily on systems. Customers never see if those systems prevent it from competing on the things customers do see: the shelf, the store, the promotion, the app, the receipt. Chief Executive Greg Foran has emphasized value, better stores, productivity, and cost savings. The e-commerce restructuring fits directly into that philosophy. Spend where the customer or business gets enough return. Question what does not. That is why the $400 million target matters. If Kroger can make online grocery more profitable while still giving customers fast delivery and pickup, the company gains more room to fight elsewhere. But shoppers should not automatically celebrate. Corporate savings do not always become customer savings. Kroger still has to prove that. Watch the prices, watch the promotions, watch whether stores improve, watch whether pickup orders become more accurate and delivery becomes more useful. Kroger has put a financial number on the new strategy. Customers get to decide whether they can actually feel the difference. If this breakdown is changing how you see Kroger's multi-billion-dollar reversal, hit the like button. Because Kroger's willingness to cut expensive fulfillment centers did not stop with futuristic technology. The same philosophy spread to ordinary supermarkets, and around 60 locations were next. The seventh move, the cleanup reached 60 ordinary stores, around 60 underperforming locations. That was the scale of another Kroger cleanup announced in 2025, with closures planned over an 18-month period. The company recognized a $100 million impairment charge connected with that plan during the first quarter of fiscal 2025. This was separate from the enormous automated fulfillment charge. If something is not producing the results Kroger needs, the fact that it already exists will not automatically save it. That sounds neat when written in a corporate presentation. It feels very different when the location is your supermarket. People build routines around grocery stores. You know where the bread is. You know when the meat gets marked down. You know which entrance is easiest. You know the employee who always seems to be working at the same checkout. Maybe the pharmacy knows you. Maybe the store is 5 minutes from home. When that location closes, improving the portfolio can mean a longer drive for somebody else. Fewer nearby supermarkets can also mean less competition. That is why shoppers should separate Kroger's financial logic from the effect on individual communities. Kroger said employees at affected stores would be offered positions at other locations. The company also expected a modest financial benefit from the closures and said savings would be reinvested into the customer experience. Again, the proof has to appear in the actual shopping trip. Better stocked shelves, competitive prices, fresh produce, cleaner stores, accurate pickup orders, shorter waits. A company can say customer experience all day. The shopper experiences it one visit at a time. The store closures also reveal something important about Kroger's future. Kroger does not believe physical supermarkets are becoming useless. Its strategy suggests the strongest stores may become more valuable. A modern Kroger location can serve walk-in customers. It can prepare pickup orders. It can support delivery. It can house a pharmacy. It can connect shoppers to digital coupons. It can generate fuel rewards. It can function as a local piece of the e-commerce network. One building can do several jobs. The strongest locations therefore become strategic assets. Weak locations become harder to defend. But Kroger is not only deciding which buildings deserve investment. It is also connecting more parts of the household to one digital relationship. Groceries were only the beginning. Next came coupons, delivery, fuel rewards, memberships, and even prescriptions. The eighth move, Kroger, started building everything around the customer. Kroger's automated network disappointed. Its digital business did not. The company generated more than $16 billion in e-commerce sales during fiscal 2025. Then, adjusted e-commerce sales grew 19% in the first quarter of 2026. Those numbers explain why Kroger could never simply declare online grocery a failed experiment. Customers had already made digital shopping part of their lives. Kroger needed to make serving them more profitable. That is a completely different problem. The company has been connecting digital ordering, pickup, delivery, loyalty accounts, personalized offers, digital coupons, fuel rewards, pharmacy services, and membership benefits. Each feature solves a small problem. Together, they can create a habit. Imagine opening Kroger's app. Your previous purchases are there. You see a coupon for coffee you already buy. Your loyalty information is connected. You can choose pickup. You can request delivery. Your fuel rewards continue building. Shopping elsewhere now requires another decision. Retailers want to become the place you check automatically. Amazon understands that. Walmart understands that. Kroger has one enormous advantage. People have to keep buying food. That gives Kroger repeated opportunities to bring households back into its ecosystem. Then, Kroger began connecting another recurring need: prescriptions. In August 2026, Kroger began allowing eligible customers in participating markets to bundle certain prescription deliveries with grocery orders through Instacart at participating Kroger family pharmacies. Think about what that means for the customer. bread, chicken, vegetables, cereal, medication. One delivery can potentially remove two separate errands. For an older shopper, busy parent, person without easy transportation, or somebody stuck at home, that convenience can matter enormously. There are restrictions. Controlled substances and refrigerated medications are among prescriptions excluded from the bundled service, and availability can depend on local rules. Still, the direction is clear. Food brings the household in. Pharmacy gives it another reason to stay. Delivery removes an errand. Fuel rewards add another benefit. Digital coupons create another reason to open the app. Then Kroger adds another layer. Boost membership. The program offers benefits built around services such as eligible grocery delivery and fuel rewards, depending on the plan and current terms. The bigger idea matters more than any single perk. Kroger wants a subscription relationship. Once someone has paid for membership benefits, the way that person compares supermarkets can change. Imagine Kroger and another retailer have similar prices this week, but you already paid for Kroger delivery benefits. Your coupons are loaded, your previous purchases are saved, your fuel rewards are building. Suddenly, opening another retailer's app feels like extra work. That is why memberships are powerful. They turn separate shopping trips into relationships. Amazon Prime showed how strong that can become. Walmart Plus applies similar thinking to a retailer with thousands of physical stores. Kroger wants its own reason for customers to stop comparing every trip. For some households, Boost may provide real value. For others, it may not. A customer ordering groceries frequently could get enough use from eligible benefits to justify the membership cost. Someone who almost never uses delivery may reach the opposite answer. That is why the smartest shopper should calculate value based on actual behavior. Do not start ordering things you never needed just to justify a membership you already bought. Do not chase fuel rewards by spending more than necessary. Use digital coupons on products you already plan to buy. Ignore offers that create spending rather than reduce it. Convenience is valuable. Blind loyalty can be expensive. That principle leads directly to what Kroger was really protecting when it sacrificed part of its multi-billion-dollar automated dream. Not the robots, not the warehouses, the customer. The ninth move, Kroger, chose the customer over its own technology. This is the part that makes the entire reversal click. Kroger spent years building a grocery future around enormous automated facilities, robots, software, specialized warehouses. Billions invested in a system designed to transform online grocery fulfillment. Then the financial results disappointed, and Kroger did what giant companies hate doing. It stopped protecting the original idea. The important change is not that Kroger abandoned technology. It did not. Technology simply no longer gets to dictate the model. The old strategy asked how Kroger could build an automated network capable of serving more customers. The new strategy starts with the customer and works backward. Kroger stopped trying to make every customer fit one fulfillment system. Now it is making the fulfillment system fit the customer. That is the real reversal. Kroger did not lose faith in online grocery. More than $16 billion in e-commerce sales proves the demand is still there. It lost faith in the idea that one expensive fulfillment model should serve everyone, because the customer never stood in the kitchen demanding that a robot prepare the order. The customer wanted fresh bananas, cold milk, unbroken eggs, the right products, fast delivery, a reasonable total. Whether those groceries came from a giant automated facility, the supermarket 6 miles away, or an Instacart shopper matters far less to the person waiting at home. Kroger's new strategy accepts that reality. Use whichever method makes sense for that customer and that market. And that flexibility could become more dangerous to competitors than the original futuristic dream. A dense market can support automation. Another can lean heavily on stores. An urgent order can use rapid delivery. A family can use pickup. A traditional shopper can still walk the aisles. The same Kroger ecosystem can serve all of them. But here is what shoppers should watch. If Kroger really delivers approximately $400 million in e-commerce operating profit improvement, does any of that advantage reach you? Kroger has said lower prices and better stores are among the areas these improvements can help fund. So watch the receipt. Watch the promotions. Watch whether your local store improves. Compare Kroger's total with Walmart, Aldi, Amazon, or whatever alternatives you actually have, because a corporate saving is not automatically a customer saving. That still has to be earned. And that brings this entire reversal down to one strange truth. The customer did not reject Kroger's future. Kroger rejected part of its own future. If the new strategy works, competitors will not care that the original automated dream disappointed. They will care that Kroger found a cheaper, more flexible way to serve the same customer. That is when this reversal becomes dangerous. Lower fulfillment costs give Kroger more room to fight on price. Thousands of stores give it more places to prepare orders. Outside partners give it more ways to reach customers. Kroger spent billions betting on one version of the future. Now it is betting that knowing when to abandon that version could be worth even more. Kroger has made the gamble. American shoppers get to judge the result. Was Kroger right to pull back after spending billions on automated fulfillment? Or would you rather see grocery chains keep investing heavily in technology if it means faster delivery? More importantly, if Kroger really saves hundreds of millions from this change, do you believe those savings will actually reach your grocery bill? Tell me in the comments. Hey, thanks for watching. Want to see what another major grocery chain is doing that could change the way you shop? Click the video showing on the left. If you want more grocery stories exposing what America's biggest chains are really doing with your money, hit that subscribe button.